What is going on, fellow fans of mobile gaming? It is your host, Galadon, back with another Command and Conquer Rivals video. And I'm telling you right now, today's episode is about challenge battles. And I have to tell you, in any game where you are facing another player like this, one-on-one PvP, it never feels good to get matched with a much higher level opponent. And that is why in Command and Conquer Rivals exclusively, they have something called challenge battles. And what that does is if you are the player on the short end of the stick, you're under-leveled, whatever it may be, you may be far behind them in trophies, in troops, or they may have a troop that you've never discovered that you can't use, then you're going to get this challenge match. And the great news is, if you lose, it's no big deal. If you lose, you don't lose trophies, you don't lose your rank. It's just basically as if nothing happened. But if you win, then you gain twice the experience, and that is huge. So definitely let's focus on winning some of these challenge matches. And we're going to talk about 6 key tips as we watch a replay between myself, Nod on the left, and the GDI guy on the right. Although he is the same level, he's got higher level troops, and he's in a much higher league than I am. So that's why it was a challenge match. All right, so number 1, right away. Don't get discouraged. Don't think that just because that challenge match pops up that you are going to lose. Now, there will be times where maybe the difference is insurmountable and you will lose, but you can also win some of these matches. In fact, surprisingly frequently, and it really makes it a lot of fun. So I actually get excited when I see one, because if I lose, I don't really feel that frustration. If I win, it's a huge reward. So definitely don't give up. Don't drop the device or anything like that. Focus. Try harder, if anything, because the rewards, again, are double the XP. Okay, so number 2, I've already done it in this match, and that is scout. You've got to scout. You need to know what is coming at you as early as possible. So that's why I will generally always train a cheap infantry and send it out just about to mid-range, maybe a little bit further, just so I can get an idea of what my opponent's strategy is so that I can counter. Countering is number 3, because obviously if they've got higher level units than you, you cannot rely upon head-to-head matches. You can't rely upon trading. You know, if you and he have the same level troops, then they're going to kill each other. That doesn't really do anybody any good. So let's focus on countering. Again, because we've been scouting, we know what he's sending out, and we can start to train the counter units that, even though they may be lower level, are going to be able to take out much higher level units in the right matchup. And what I mean by that is, just for instance, a very low level Venom will always beat a higher level Rifleman, Infantry, Shockwave, Laser squads, and a low level Missile or Laser squad will always be able to take out a much higher level Predator, Scorpion tank, Pitbull, or attack bikes, simply because it has that attack advantage. So right here, you can see that this battle has turned in my favor significantly. My opponent was relying upon the repair drone, which just was not working for him, especially because I had the perfect counters. I knew exactly what to prepare, what to train, because I knew what he was throwing out there, and his vehicles really had no chance. I'm annihilating one after the other, and just about ready to take control of the pads again, launch another missile and end this thing, mostly thanks to my favorite unit, the Rock Worm. I love the Rock Worm, so strong against opponents' vehicles, and he kept sending vehicles forward. I kept sending the Rock Worm in there, and obviously I had a huge advantage, took control of the pads at just the right moment, and launched the final missile for an easy, surprisingly easy 2-0 victory. All right, so we've covered the first 3 of 6 tips, and that is, don't get discouraged, scout, and counter. All right, we're going to get into another replay, again from my full attack group of warriors right here. A-Man 19 is going to battle it out in a challenge match. And let's get on to number 4. Now, you might have seen this in my last battle, and what that is don't fight fair. And what I mean by that is, don't go one-on-one, even if you have that advantage. If you've got a unit that's going to do better against an opponent's unit, as you saw in the first match, I love to line up 2 or 3 sets of units to face one. If he is willing to let his one unit get virtually surrounded, I'm more than happy to battle 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. And in a lot of cases, that's more than enough to overcome the level disadvantage. So by don't fight fair, I mean you've always been told not to be a bully. In this case, you feel free to gang up on your opponent. Try to get it set up so that you can see the way the tiles are set. right here you can see A-Man 19 has sent 2 units in to try to work against that one vehicle. They're going to kind of jockey for position and eventually take it out easily right here. So there you go. That is exactly what we're talking about. Trying to get multiple units to face one. Let him send one out kind of further than the rest. Don't rely on pushing forward. Sit back and hey, it's just like people say, the best offense is a good defense. That's exactly what works right here. Let your opponent make that move and then you counter it. Once you've built up a stronger force, then you can move in and take control of the pads. And that takes us to number 5, which is watch the pads. You do not have to control them the entire time. I think I've talked about this in pretty much every episode of Command & Conquer Rivals that I've made, because remember, as it's counting up, it's not doing any damage. You don't have to worry about it if it's your opponent's color, if it's yellow, if it's neutral. Don't worry until that last moment when it's just about to launch right about here. Then you have to worry. And unfortunately for A-Man, he gets a missile launched against him. But again, he's going to come from behind, I think. I'm hoping. I don't want to see him lose in this episode. That would kind of be a bummer, right? But okay, so yes, you just have to wait for those last few seconds. And a lot of the time, what that means is set your units off, make that last second push, get that advantage right at the last moment rather than constantly back and forth getting all your units killed. Let's play a little bit more conservatively, wait for the right opportunity, and again, wait for that right unit advantage when you can make the counter where your units are much more likely to survive. Then the time counts down and you get the launch instead of your opponent. Now, part of watching the pads is be willing to give one up. In this case, you can see A-Man 19 has moved several units away from that losing battle at the top of the screen, and he's gone ahead and taken control on the bottom right, which was a brilliant idea rather than just simply being overmatched. And you'll notice his opponent is not making the best of it and has left some strong units up there to defend. That's enabled A-Man to make a big push down on the lower right, and as he takes control of this pad just at the right moment, it is time to launch a missile. All he needs to do is hold on just a few more seconds. Oh, he's not gonna hold on. Oh, he's got another unit coming back. Oh, there he goes. He does. Okay, so again, it's a back and forth battle. And again, man, okay, that was tight. That was close right there. But that is what makes this game so much fun. Man, when I'm playing Command & Conquer Rivals, I'm on the edge of my seat half the time simply because of matchups like this. You could see how close that was, how it looked like for a moment he was going to lose control. And I was thinking, wait a minute, I didn't put him losing in a video, did I? Okay, so he's holding on, and now he's got control of the 2 bottom pads. Surprisingly, his opponent not doing anything, even harassing a harvester would work at this point. He's got 2 idle units at the top of the screen, and the harvester is just sitting there vulnerable. So A-Man, again, gaining control of both of these pads, and it looks good. Looks like he's going to hold on. He's got units moving in. He's got the advantage. He's got the timer counting down one more time. And here comes the victory. And with that victory, let me just get into tip number 6, and that is hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. You want to get these battles done quickly because the longer they go, the more the advantage goes to the higher level player. Thank you, Doodad, for helping me out with the tips. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end of the episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow for more Full Attacks.